Today our study will be over subtracting integers. Mr. Joe is a teacher by day but a mountain climber by night. Mount Everest, the highest elevation in Asia, is 29,028 feet above the sea level. The Dead Sea in Israel, the lowest elevation, is 1,312 feet below sea level. What is the difference between these two elevations? So let's start with it. Asia and Mount Everest is 29,800 feet above the sea. Positive. The Dead Sea is 1,312 feet below sea level. Negative. It says find the difference of these. Difference. Before I do the mathematics here, I'm going to draw another picture of this. So here's Mount Everest. It is 29,028 feet. Here is the Dead Sea. It is negative 1,312 feet. What is the difference in elevation between the top, the very peak, and the very valley of this Dead Sea right here? How far is it from the top to this bottom right here? Seems as though we add these two numbers. I think we're going to add the two numbers. Well, in the mathematics subtracting rules for integer, it's called, this is how I teach it, it's called you change the minus to a plus. So change the minus to a plus. When you're doing subtracting integer, change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next. Then all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So we have 29,028, that's the elevation here. And this one is 1,312. Together, the difference in the elevation from the peak to the valley here is 30,340 feet. So let's delve into our topic of subtracting integers. Is 7 minus 3 equivalent to 7 plus negative 3? Is it the same problem you're doing? If you have 7, you take away 3, you get 4. If you have 7 positives and you have 3 negatives, these zero out. So what do you have left? Positive 4 also. Hey, it's the same answer. Or if you want to use a number line, you start at 0, you go over 7 positive, you draw an arrow to 7 positive, and then negative 3, you draw a negative arrow back by 3, so you'll be at 4. Or as a soccer coach, you have a team of good and bad players. You have 7 good players, you put together 3 bad players. Will your team still be good? Yes. Good by how many? Positive 4. So, why is 7 minus 3 equivalent to 7 plus negative 3? Let's look at this. How did they turn 7 minus 3 into 7 plus negative 3? It seems as they did this. They seem like they changed the minus to a plus, and then they changed the sign of the next. Then all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So 7 plus negative 3 is 4. And 7 minus 3 is 4, or 7 plus negative 3. So an example. Is 7 minus 11 equivalent to 7 plus negative 11? So you have $7. You take away $11. You're probably going to owe somebody money. You're probably going to owe them $4. Let's look at this one. You have 7 positive. You have 11 negatives. You look like you have more negatives by 4. Or a soccer coach, you have 7 good players. You put together 11 bad players. You have a team of bad players by 4. So how did they get from here into here? How did they rewrite it? It seems as they changed the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next, and all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So they just change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next. So 7 minus 11 is equivalent to 7 plus negative 11. So let's do some modeling. Let's do a first example. You have 5 positives. You're going to take away 2 of the positives. You have left positive 3. Is that equivalent to this problem? You have 5 positives. You have 2 negatives. These zero out. What do you have left? Positive 3. So how did they rewrite this first expression to the second expression? It seems as though they changed the minus to a plus, changed the sign of the next. Then all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. 5 plus negative 2 is positive 3. Let's look at the next example. You have 4 negatives. You're going to take away 3 of the negatives. What do you have left? Negative 1. Let's look at our second expression. You have 4 negatives. You put 3 positives. These zero out. And you also get negative 1. So how did they rewrite this first expression to this expression? It seems as though they changed the minus to a plus, changed the sign of the next. Then all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So negative 4 plus positive 3 is negative 1, which is the same as negative 4 minus negative 3. Let's try our next example. You have 3 positives. 1, 2, 3. You're going to take away 5 negatives. Oh no, there are no negatives to take away from here. However, if I put this one, this is a negative with a positive. Is this still going to be 3 positive right here? Because remember, this is called a zero pair. They cancel out. So even though I put a positive and negative, it's as I didn't put anything, as if I didn't put anything. Let's put another negative and a positive. Another negative with a positive. Another negative with a positive. Right? This is called zero pair. It's as if nothing's happening. You still have 3 positive, the first number, first integer, and this one, these are zero out, they cancel out. So let's see. It said I have 3 positive, take away now 5 of those negatives. Take, and take. What do you have as your answer left? 8 positive. So let's go back to our second example. Is 3 put together with 5 positive the same thing as positive 8? Yeah, it is. So how did they rewrite the first expression to the second expression? From what I can tell, it seems as though they changed the minus to a plus, changed the sign of the next. Then all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So positive 3 plus positive 5 is positive 8, which is the same as positive 3 minus negative 5. Let's try our next example. You have negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take away 1 positive from that. Let's see. I can't take a positive. There are no positive take away. What if I put a zero pair here? Now can I take that 1 positive away? Because remember, you have 4 negative. This is as there's nothing here because they cancel out each other. So now I take away this 1 positive. What do you have left? 5 negatives. So, in this example, they said that negative 4 plus negative 1 is the same. Yep, 4 negatives plus 1 negative is negative 5. So how did they rewrite the first expression into the second expression? From what I can tell, it seems as though they changed the minus to a plus, changed the sign of the next. And all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5, which is the same as negative 4 minus positive 1. So let's go to this screen right here. In this screen, can you match equivalent expression to the other side. Can you match these equivalent? 3 minus 4. Which one of these addition problem matches with 3 minus 4? Let's see. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of the next. I think 3 minus 4 is the same thing as 3 plus negative 4. So I think it's this one right here. So the next example. Let me write a little larger. Negative 7 minus 2. What is equivalent? It's going to be one of these. So negative 7, one of those. Let's see. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of the next. And all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So negative 7 minus 2 is equivalent to this one. Negative 7 plus negative 2. Let's skip down to 7 minus 2. Of course, you can do it in your head. The answer is 5. But what addition problem is it equivalent to? Oh, I'm sorry. That should be a 2. Will be 5. So change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of this next. Seems like 7 minus 2 is equivalent to 7 plus negative 2. So it'll be that one right there. So let's do our last example here. Let's look at this one. Negative 1 minus 4. You have 1 negative. You're going to take away 4 negative. Take away 4 from that. You know, I'm going to use my rules. Change the minus to a plus. Change the sign of the next. I think that will go to negative 5. Let's see if it does. Oh, it accepted it. Let's look at this one. You have 1. You're going to take away 6. You could, if you want to, you can draw pictures of it. You have 1 positive. You need to take away 6 positives from that. But I cannot take away 6 positives. There's not enough positives to take away. So what I do is you have to draw 0 pairs. So now I can take away 6 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what do you have left over? Negative 5. Or if you just want to do the rule, change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next. 1 plus negative 6 is negative 5. That's here. So let's go back a screen. What helps me, I'm a grown adult, and I still use this rule to this day. When you have a subtraction question and with integer, positive, negative numbers, what I do is I change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next, and all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So 3 minus negative 6. You change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next, and all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. 3 plus 6 is 9. So that is the study of subtracting integers. I use this to help me out. Some of your parents may say, when they learn it, it's called add the opposite. That's what I learned when I was 12 years old. You change that to an adding, and what's the opposite of your second number? Add the opposite. Some teachers teach it as keep, flip, change. Keep the first number, flip this, subtracting to an adding, change that. I like this one. It makes more sense to me. What you do is you change the minus to a plus, change the sign of the next, and all you do is add them up as if they were a plus. So that is subtracting integers.